Oh, it's good to see you too, girl. All right, so basically, I just want to tell you a little bit about the project.
Okay.
What I'm doing is I'm collecting Chicago stories, Chicago family stories from people to link to different parts of history. I'm especially interested in the Great Migration because I'm running into a lot of connections between people's families and how they got here. I would like to try and link these stories that I'm collecting to these photographs as well as collect additional photographs from families.
Okay.
Because we're all one tribe.
Oh,
And
yeah. I know you my cousin some kind of way.
yeah, it's like
left behind in Mississippi to make it appear as though my grandmother was going to return back to Mississippi. Ultimately, my Aunt Minnie ended up coming up from
I like to work with archives and oral histories because it has a lot to do with my family and how I was raised. I grew up in a family with 5 generations alive. So because I was young, my role was to be the listener. And so I was listening to all these stories, and for me, I was engaged with the practice of hearing my grandfather, my aunt, my grandmother, my father tell me stories about things that happened in their lives and then connect them to history.
Because they knew the Chicago Defender newspaper was that beacon to encourage blacks to leave the South and come for jobs in Chicago.
My idea for this installation was to make links, not necessarily from year to year, but from situation to situation. I struggled with what is the most sensitive way to handle these stories. Recently, I discovered the role in African culture of a griot. A griot is a person that is a story collector. He's a historian, a praise singer, and it is his job to basically sing the lineage of a tribe or village.
All these things were the driving force for my grandmother coming here. One, to stop having to work, so hard, because imagining that her working.
I feel that when you hear a person's voice, and especially if they're older, you hear the timbre of age, and that adds to these objects. You become more connected. You hear them laughing, they're breathing, they become more alive, like someone's actually talking to you as a storyteller. It's important that people make those connections with the object because it's almost like the object becomes a person.
So we would have a certain day that we would do our family laundry, say it was Tuesday. And you would hang everything in the house to dry. So the clotheslines went throughout the hallway and in the kitchen so that things could dry quickly. And then the rest of the week, my mom, because she was a homemaker until I was 11 when she went to college, she would take in laundry. So in the 60s, everyone washed, starched, and pressed everything.